just want you all to know, and I know that you know, that this is a special, special night. We are about to get some knowledge, and we are about to be inspired, and I'm so honored to be here. So, Dolores, I want to start with you. You helped launch the modern labor movement. And now we're in a moment today where we're seeing a resurgence of unions and their power again, from Amazon to Starbucks to teachers standing in their power. And I want to talk to you just about how it feels 60 years later to be looking at this moment in time and seeing a lot of your work coming to a culmination. How are you feeling about today?
Well, I feel really great to see that workers are finally being recognized, especially people that work with their hands, which often get ignored, are essential workers. And I think that people power of the farm workers to go out there and fight for their union. And I'm glad to see that Amazon workers and other workers are doing the same thing. And that's what we have to do, because labor unions are the foundation of our democracy.
Absolutely. Labor unions are indeed the foundation of our democracy, and we know that our democracy is in peril today. But Chris, you are giving us hope and inspiration because you and your team organized the JFK 8 warehouse. For those of you that might not know, but I'm sure everybody does know, that is an Amazon warehouse, which is the #2 biggest company in the country. Lots of people told you that your organizing efforts would fail. Amazon invested $4 million to try and stop you, but they failed. Your tactics worked. So talk to us about your tactics, your creative tactics, and why did they work?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Amazon don't know their workers the way we do. We come from our community. We live in these communities. We live the grievances, the reality of the warehouse. And when they fired me 2 years ago, they didn't know who I was. They tried to demonize me. They tried to smear me. And because of that reason, it motivated me to continue fighting and advocating for workers' rights. And when I went back to organize, the one thing that Amazon can't buy is love. And the way we organized is we brought people together, breaking bread, music, having good vibes, whatever it took to have a conversation with them. And Amazon doesn't do that. They had a system that's ran by metrics. And once again, when the power of people come together, there's nothing that can defeat that.
I love that, and I've often heard Dolores talk about people power for sure. Can you talk to us a little bit about your thoughts with regards to feminism and labor?
Well, I think the fact that we have so many workers that are not paid properly, Amazon workers, fast food workers, many workers, custodial workers, etc., it's kind of a legacy from slavery, literally, And of course, it applies not only to workers, it applies to women, it applies to children. So when we talk about feminism being, absolutely tied in with labor organizing and organizing per se, we know that it all comes together. Working people are the majority of the people in the United States, and they need representation on the job, in their cities, in the state legislature, and in the Congress, because they need people to protect the rights of workers.
Absolutely. What advice can you give to Chris, and we can just listen in on this conversation?
Well, I know that oftentimes the workers, you win an election, and you get the recognition, but that the employers are going to go to court, they're going to try to stall, they're going to do everything that they can so that you can't get your collective bargaining agreement. And like with the Farm Workers Union, had it not been for the support of the American public and people boycotting grapes and lettuce and gallon wine, we never would have gotten those contracts. So I'm just, really aware, because Amazon is such a billionaire, and they have so much money that they're going to try to keep you from getting that contract.
For the contract, we know that Amazon is not going to come to the table with us. So we want to make sure that we have the power of all the unions and political support so that they recognize the union, number one. And if, obviously if they don't come to the table in a certain time frame, then we will have to do what we have to do and shut it down. I can tell you now, we already been contacted by every building in the country already. And what we plan on doing is after this this next victory, you know, we want to have a national call and get every building in the country started so that they can start a chapter.
All right.
Workers is coming, you know, and this is a revolution. And you know, once again, I want everybody to be a part of this revolution.
And there's one other thing I think that we have to point out. If we look at the places where you have strong unions, New York and California, all of the west coast of California, what do we have? We have a progressive politics, okay? We have progressive politics. So it's more than just organizing workers to have representation. It's about having political representation. And that's why when I said earlier that labor unions are the foundation of our democracy, I think that proves it, okay? When you have labor unions, you know, you're going to be able to get people elected that are going to have the values of helping people and not going against people.
Chris, do you have any questions, any advice that you would want to ask from Dolores?
Yeah, I do, definitely. You know, I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I can tell you, you know, the hardest thing to deal with is probably mental health. So you've been doing it for decades. You know, I want to know, how do you deal with that while organizing when you got so much on your shoulders?
Well, I think number one, sometimes you kind of have to step back a little bit, and you know that you're in it for the long run. And so you have to celebrate a lot with song and with music and with friends, so that it doesn't get so burdensome that it crushes you. And then always, of course, reaching out to people that support you. So knowing that you're in it for the long haul, that they're not going to ever have you quit, okay? They're going to just keep organizing until you can get all of those people that need organizing to get them to have their union.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is really, really important.
Dolores, Chris is definitely the incarnation of Si Se Puede.
Right.
Yes, we can. For those that don't know, Dolores coined Si Se Puede. We're going to have a very special moment happen right now, and that is going to be that Dolores Huerta is going to lead us in a chant.
So I'm going to ask you to stand, okay? All right. Okay. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People power.
So are we going to use our power to help the Amazon workers, to help all workers, to help fight the fascism, okay?
That's right.
To save our democracy, what do we say? ¿Se puede o no se puede?
Sí se puede.
Let's all do it together with an organized hand clap. Let's go.
Sí se puede. 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 And if we don't get it, 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 shut it down. One more time, we don't get it, shut it down. Power to all people.